Hey guys, you know I like to operate low power, usually around 20 watts. And when I'm traveling, I usually take my Xiegu G90 with me, and because it has everything, it's a shack in the box. Didn't bring it with me this time. I'm traveling, I'm over in Poland on a trip for a few weeks. And instead, I thought I would experiment. You know, as I've worked here in Poland, I've always just been limited to 20 watts. So I wanted to try something a little different this trip. I left the G90 at home, brought some other radios, and I also packed up in the suitcase here, this little amp. This is the MX-P50M. Real small. I mean, look, palm of your hand, tiny little thing. It basically is a 45 watt amp if you drive it with 5 watts. So I have a Xiegu X5105 with me, a little 5 watt radio. I just wanted to experiment with this thing. That's the beauty of it, was I threw it in a suitcase. It was easy to travel with. And, you know, I think it's a good option if you just have a QRP radio and you want to try something. I put together a couple antennas. Previous video, you'll see I have up an infed half wave and a random wire, a 35.5 foot long random wire antenna in different directions. So what I want to do, I really want to test this thing and see what it's like more in an NVIS situation. I just want to see how much stronger my signals will be around me here in Europe using this little amp. You know, I know people think power and DX. I'm just curious because here in Europe, for me, sometimes 40 meters is really tough with low power because it's a pretty crowded band, a lot going on 40 meters. So I figured I would bring this with me this time and experiment with it on 40 as well as 20. Here, I'm going to show you the setup, and then I'll show you maybe a couple QSOs on 20, one with each antenna I have up, and then a couple on 40, one with each antenna I have up. And then afterwards, I'll come back and tell you really what I think of this thing. Is it worth it? Do you want to get it? Do you want to travel with it? But stick around. Okay, here's the setup and what I have all together to use this little thing. Yeah, that's a mess, but I'll go over that in just a second. But here you go. Here's the MX-P50M 45 watt power amplifier for HF. As you can see right now, I've got the filter set for 30 through 17 meters because driving it, the Xiegu X5105, right now I'm on the 20 meter band. With the 5105, I have an external speaker because that's the one thing about that radio that drives me crazy is the sound from that little tiny speaker. I'm using an auto tuner, an antenna tuner. We'll be using the AT100 Pro 2 auto tuner. The reason being is, getting back to the wiring here. So I have two antennas both coming into the auto tuner, and then from the auto tuner to the amp, and then from the amp to the radio. That is, and I know the X5105 has ATU in it, and some of you might be asking, why are you using that one? Well, the SWR has to be low before it gets to the amplifier. So what I'm doing, I'll switch this off here, and then set this to FM, key the mic, and tune the antenna, and get the SWR down probably to 1 to 1, 1 to 1.1 to 1, 1.2 to 2. Anyway, getting low SWR, then flipping the amplifier on, and it's working just fine. Yeah, another thing, and you could probably do this with if you took this thing portable. And the reason why I'm using this radio too is it's battery powered. I'm running it on battery. That's one less power supply I need to use. And because of that, this power supply here is just powering the tuner, and the reason why I'm not using the other one to supply power to the amp is these are rated at 5 amps max. The amp needs about 8 amps, or pulls about 8 amps, so it's got its own little power supply. This also made by Schnitt Power, the same company that makes the other ones, but this one is a 10 amp, 12 volt only power supply that I got off Amazon as well, and it's working fine. It's really working great. But there you go. That's the setup. Yeah, there's a lot going on there for sure, but it seems to be working well. Let's make some contacts. One thing I failed to mention there too is I have a pretty nice little PTT cable, push to talk cable, that I picked up really cheap, under $10 on eBay. There's quite a few. If you could do a search on eBay, if you're thinking about doing this, take a look at this. Like for the G90, they make them, and the X5105, the Zygu cable, they make them for many other brands and other type of rigs as well. So yeah, go check out. There's quite a few different sellers and suppliers, but these are available on eBay. Sugar Papa Stroke Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar.
Sugar Papa / Kilo 4, please come again.
Yes, / Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar.
Kilo 4 OGO Yankee Tango 1 Alpha Delta. Hello and good afternoon to you, 59. Your signal is traveling to Central Serbia. Name on this side is Miloš, Mike Italy, Lima Ocean Sierra. SP/Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar Yankee Tango 1 Alpha Delta.
Hey, QSL, thanks for taking the call. The name on this end is Walt, Whiskey Alpha Lima Tango. I'm in the north of Poland near the Baltic Sea, about 60 kilometers west of Gdansk. You are a lovely 5-9 signal here tonight.
Beautiful, Walt. Your signal is also very nice, 5-9 plus 20. Actually, my antenna is looking to the USA at the moment. It's a fixed antenna, 6-element Yagi, and you're at the side of my antenna, but beautiful copy, beautiful signal, and I'm waiting from someone from your original country, so we will see how the thing goes. SP/Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar Yankee Tango 1 Alpha Delta. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for taking the call. 73, my friend.
Bye-bye.
That's radio to Delta November Whiskey.
Sugar Papa Stroke Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar.
Gentlemen, please stand by. Oscar Golf Oscar. Please again your call.
Yes, Sierra Papa Stroke Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar.
Sierra Papa Stroke Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar, is correct?
QSL, you are 5-9 into the north of Poland, near Gdansk. The name here is Walt, Whiskey Alpha, Lima Tango.
Roger, Wolf. Thank you very much. Your signal report 5-9 plus MDB, booming signal in Moscow. My name is Anatoly and QTH near Moscow. Radio to Delta November Whiskey.
London Yankee 0, United Kilo Radio.
Sugar Papa Stroke Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar.
Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar. Good evening, 59.
QSL, you're 59 into the north of Poland. Thank you.
Thank you, good luck. LY0 UKR.
UKQ on 40 meters, CQ40 from Oscar Zulu, so Delta Germany 4, Delta Whiskey, over.
Sugar Papa Stroke Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar.
Sugar Papa Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar. What is the price? Hello, my friend. Good picture from your side. Report in the next over here. Is the name Mike? Mike is my name. Go ahead.
At QSL, the name here is Walt, Whiskey Alpha Lima Tango. I'm located about 60 kilometers west of Gdansk, near the Baltic Sea here, and it's lovely signal tonight. I'll give you a report on the next go-round there.
Yeah, Walt, yeah, many thanks. An American call sign from Poland. Very good. Walt, I come normally from the west part of Germany. I live now here in the west part of Denmark. My location, 2 weeks long. We start last Sunday. Weather is not so good, but we're hoping for better weather. Walt, you are here 59, a little bit over 9 on my dipole antenna. Go ahead.
Well, there you go. I got some incredible signal reports. It said audio was great. I mean, this thing was working great. It really was. My thoughts on it. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little amp and easy to travel with, throw in a bag, pack if you want to take it portable, especially, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you've got a battery-powered radio like that X5105 with an internal battery, and you only need one battery to power something, you a small, maybe 6 amp hour or maybe more battery for the amp would work great. Overall, though, I think if I look back on what I've done in the past and purely for what's the best option, nothing beats a shack in a box, man. The G90 for me is perfect. You saw all the wires and the mess that I have going on back there. There's a lot happening just to get an extra, to get up to 40, 45 watts. I'll be honest with you, 20 watts to 40 watts is not a big deal. I mean, probably hardly an S unit. It really is. So, yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about this amp, but just overall, just a suggestion, if you're traveling, lighten the load and just bring something like the G90, a shack in the box. If you want to operate around, under 100 watts, but more than QRP, that's the option to go. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and stick around. I'm going to be here for a while. I got more antennas to play with and more toys to play around with. Anyway, I'm Walt, Sierra Papa /K4OGO 73, my friends.